Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners and hi to any newbies. It's so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbie. They are free. So you have hopped on today because it's about time I gave you a little update on the Pick My WIP that we recently did. So back last month, I came on with a book and I gave you the choice of 2 patterns that I should make. You guys voted and I have started to make that project. So there are some things that have been switched up and changed. I am nowhere near completion, but I have made a start. So to refresh your memory, it is going to be my nephew's birthday in August, and I really wanted to make a stuffy, plushy, cuddly toy, whatever you want to call it, amigurumi, for him for his birthday. And he, not very enthusiastically, started to go through some of my pattern books, and he very quickly got bored. So I pulled out my Dinosaurs, Mammoths and More Prehistoric Amigurumi book, and I said that his little brother is probably going to really want a dinosaur, and is there a dinosaur or something else in this book that he might like for his birthday? So he had a flick through and he picked his pattern. Now, the one that I was going to make for the littlest nephew is Theo the T-Rex. He was one of the options, but it isn't his birthday coming up. So Theo was one of the options, and then the nephew whose birthday is coming up, he picked out Oscar the Sabre-Tooth Tiger. So I put it to a vote, and you guys decided that between Oscar the Sabre-Tooth Tiger and Theo the T-Rex, that the first one I should make is in fact Oscar the Sabre-Tooth Tiger, so that birthday boy gets his present and his gift on time. So I came back on and told you which was the winning vote, and I also had plucked some yarn from my stash that I intended to use. Now that is where the first big change comes in, guys. I did make a small attempt to use the yarn that I had selected to make Oscar, but I really wasn't happy with how it was working up. It was super duper thin, it was super gappy, even though I kept going down hook sizes, and by the time that I got it to an appearance that I thought was okay, it would have been teeny tiny. So I thought, you know what, Manfa, you're just going to have to change the yarn that you're going to use. So I put all of that original yarn that I showcased here on the channel back away in my totes. And then I had the slightly frustrating task of reselecting yarns. Now, there is a little bit of a story with those yarns as well. Now, as you can see, Oscar the Sabre-Tooth Tiger is like an orangey browny colour. Now, the only oranges that I have in my stash are like proper orange, like that orange or that orange. And he isn't a traditional tiger, he is a saber-tooth tiger, so it wasn't quite the right colour. I also explained in my previous selection that I don't have quite the right colour, but that I wasn't prepared to go and buy yet more yarn. I wanted to use stuff from my stash. So I went digging and digging and digging, and then I stumbled across a part ball of yarn in this golden brown colour, and this is a 4-weight, and I thought that's perfect, but I kind of knew that it wouldn't be enough, and it wasn't enough. So even though Manfa said that she wasn't prepared to buy more yarn, Manfa had to buy more yarn. And the real kicker is this is a yarn that is not readily available in the UK. So not only did I buy more, I probably paid way over the odds for it. Just saying. Now, this is the scrap from the original ball And I thought the quickest way, I looked at Wool Warehouse, I looked at a few other online yarn shops, and then I thought the quickest way for me to get it will be if I go on Amazon, and because I've got Amazon Prime, I should be able to get it delivered in a timely manner. That's why I think I paid over the odds for it, but it's okay. He's my nephew, it's his birthday, and he is worth it. The only other kicker is that I could only get a 3-pack, and I only really wanted one more ball, but you know, I will have extra in my stash if I don't need to use it all, which I really don't think I will. Now, the yarn in question, this one here, is in fact one that a lot of you are going to be familiar with. It is Red Heart Soft. And like I said, I could only get it in a 3-pack. So here's the 3-pack. It has been delivered. It even says on the back, sold as a set, do not separate. And I did pay over the odds for it, but I needed it. And because I don't have a Walmart or a Joanne or a Michaels or anywhere like that here in the UK, I had to suck it up and get on with it. Now, let me give you the stats of the Red Heart Soft. And then I also went digging through my stash for the other colours that I'm going to need. And I found various shades of 4-weight and in some cases a 3-weight, but it's working up absolutely fine. I am not going to go through the stats of each of these guys because I only have one ball of each. I don't know if all of it is still available. So just know that I've got a cream, a beige, a chocolatey brown and a black of various types of acrylic in my stash. Now, back to the Red Heart Soft. It is 100 grams, 167 meters in this original ball. But in the new balls, let me get one out for you. So my original ball was 100 grams and 167 meters. The new balls, however, are 141 grams, so 41 grams more, which is 5 ounces, by the way. And there are 234 meters rather than 167. So they are bigger balls. Much, much bigger. And it is obviously newer because the labels are completely different. And I was really worried that there would be noticeable difference in the colour, but I think once it is all made up, that shouldn't be a problem. Let's give you the makeup of this. It is 100% acrylic. It's a medium 4-weight. On this yarn band, it recommends a 5mm hook, whereas on this one, it recommends a 5.5. So there's another discrepancy. Let me see, where are the washing instructions? Wash up to 40 degrees is the same, do not bleach is the same, low tumble, which is the same, do not iron, which is the same, and dry clean using P. So, you know, just bigger. And the colourway is Wheat. W-H-E-A-T. So we now have plenty of this wheat colour to make Oscar the Sabre-Tooth Tiger. I am also using my 4mm Clover Moor, the purple one. There it is. Loving it, loving it, loving it. I do love my clovers just as much as I love my dots. And as I was making Oscar, I switched it up a little bit, guys, because you're supposed to make the head and the body separate, and then you're supposed to sew those two together. Manfa didn't want to do that, because whenever I do that, I get floppy neck syndrome on my makes, and it really isn't necessary. So what I did is I started with the body, and I worked the body to a point where the hole at the top of the body would naturally fit the width of the head, and I just stopped the body at that point and I started the head at that point. So I did not do all of the rows. Some of the rows I missed out, so that the body went to a certain number of stitches and I started the head at that certain number of stitches. So I think I did an all right job. I've never done that to a pattern before. Normally I follow it to the T, but with my progression in my crochet and with more experience, I realised that that is an option. And when, like I said, it was the same stitches for the top of the body and the same stitches for the bottom of the head, I did just do one row of that number in between the head and the body, just to give it a little bit of a distinction. So that is one change that I made. I have used completely different safety eyes to what is recommended in the book, but then a lot of us do that. We deal with what we've got in stash. I have given my version of Oscar, sorry, I've got a bit of fluff that is irritating me on here. There we go. I use some of the glittery eyes that I am using for my Impkins, and I use like a coppery, orangey, bronzy glitter background for the eyes, and the eyes are a lot bigger than the original in the book. And as I was making him, he very quickly started to look like a seal because of the parts I decided to work first. Now he is looking a bit like a walrus, but I'm not worrying, because once I have made the other bits and pieces to put on him, he will look like a saber-toothed tiger. So you'll have to excuse the fact that I'm saying it's a saber-toothed tiger and it looks more like a walrus. But are you ready to meet Oscar how he is at the moment? Are you ready? And he's quite a nice size using the 4-weight. Normally I use a DK for my amigurumis, but I have used a 4-weight. Now here is the beginning of Oscar. You could also be forgiven for thinking he looks a bit like a circus peanut, or monkey nuts as we call them over here. But I have done his body, I have done his head, I have done his muzzle, his nose, his chin, and obviously the teeth. I have already embroidered on the bits where the whiskers would come out, and his little smile underneath as well. Now these here on the cheeks of his muzzle, they are French knots, and I had to refresh myself on how to do them. I haven't done them very often, and thankfully I think I did an all right job. What do we reckon? He has got his little smile underneath there. And the construction of this muzzle was very interesting as well, because forget the teeth are separate pieces. These two beige pieces you made separately and left both of them open, and then you put the two open ends together to make the muzzle, if that makes sense. It was a very interesting construction. But yes, he has those orangey, coppery, bronzy, sparkly eyes. He does have that kitty cat nose. Like I said, the French knots for where his whiskers would be. His little mouth and chin. And of course, those all-important teeth for him to be a saber-tooth. So, what else have I got to do for Oscar? Quite a bit, actually. I am still convinced I'll get him done in time. But I still need to make his ears, his front paws, his back paws. Has he got a tail? Yes, he's got a tail, so I've still got the tail to make as well. And then I need to embroider on his stripes. So there is the Oscar in the book. And here, whoa, camera angles, Sam. Here is my version of Oscar. Totally different eyeballs, totally different weight of yarn that was recommended, and I did switch up the pattern by not sewing the head to the body, just by making it one piece, and I hope it works. What do you think? Did I do a good enough job? Does it work, or should I have stuck to the pattern and sewn the two pieces together? But sewing really isn't my strong suit, guys. It's the one bit of amigurumi that I do not enjoy. I mean, you can see here that my stitching isn't perfect. It could do with an awful lot of work, but I am trying my absolute hardest when it comes to these amigurumis, and I'm pretty sure that my soon-to-be 7-year-old nephew is not going to overly critique Auntie Sam's sewing ability. He is probably going to say, there is no way you made that, Auntie Sam, you're a little bit of a fibber. But you guys know that I made him, and everyone at home here knows that I'm making him because they've seen me make him. But his little 7-year-old mind thinks that all of these things get made in factories and shops and that nobody would be able to make them themselves. So we shall see, but that is where I'm at with Oscar so far. I am really, really excited to get more of him done. Cannot wait to see my nephew's reaction. And of course, I will bring him back next month before the birthday boy gets him so that you can see him completed and ready to be gifted. So there we go. You picked, I'm doing the WIP. Promised you I would, and I am. So here we go. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. There is just something truly wonderful about being able to grab some yarn and a hook, do some hocus pocus magic, and end up with something as incredible as a 3D stuffed toy. I mean, never in my wildest dreams, but look at me go. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you appreciated the update. I hope you like my progress. Any hints or tricks, let me know them down below. Let me know if me making the body and head in one piece worked in your opinion. Does it look okay? And I, of course, like I said, will bring him back when he is completed. But that won't be for a few weeks. I need to actually do the making of all the other parts and put it together. But you really do need to come back tomorrow because, of course, Tile of the Week Thursday is done. It is no more. We have done all 100. That segment is completely finished. So I will be coming back tomorrow and telling you about the new idea that I have for Thursdays, and I'm really hoping that you're going to like it. So if you are intrigued to know what is taking Tile of the Week Thursday's place, then come back here tomorrow and I will reveal all and explain all. Until then, though, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one or around the YouTube streets. Bye, guys. Love ya.